All right, so for today's class, you just need a little bit of space, a bit of standing space, and probably about enough room to move maybe a step or two in any direction. We're really going to be moving to sort of the right and left. So just make sure you've got a little area. And then if you do feel like sitting is better for you for this practice, you can sit, you can do the arm movements. You may be able to do a little bit of the leg movements as well. So find what works for you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lead us through two moves. First one's going to be a little simpler. Second one is going to be a little more complex, although not difficult. And all we really need to think about today is just kind of finding that rhythm that sort of suits for you. So when we learn the moves, we're just going to go through them. We're going to practice them a couple of times. And then I'm going to take us through a practice where we're going to kind of move through a sequence and then repeat those moves over and over again for maybe a minute or 2 minutes or maybe 3 minutes. And you're going to get a chance to kind of let your breath and your body just find that rhythm that works for you. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. We're going to think about letting our feet feel the ground and kind of really pay attention to just that connection between our body and whatever happens to be below us. So maybe it's carpet, maybe it's a harder floor. Just let yourself kind of feel that connection. If you practiced yesterday, you might have a little bit of woken up feet to add to that. Okay, so the first one that we're going to learn is called breathing of the universe. So for this one, you're going to stand with your feet a decent width apart, far enough that it feels comfortable for you to just stand. And you might take a little tiny bend in the knees, but not a big bend. So if you do take a little bend, it's just kind of letting your knees sort of relax a little. So just starting here, you're going to sort of let your feet feel the whole surface that's touching the floor. So just let yourself kind of concentrate down. Notice if you're leaning to one side, if your weight's concentrated in one area, sort of let that even out. And then we're going to take our right hand. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me. And you're going to place it just in front of your lower abdomen. You want a little bit of space between your palm and your body, so it's not resting against you. And then you're going to take your left hand and you're going to bring it behind that. And again, there's a little bit of space. So you've got some space between your two hands, a little bit of space between your palm and your body. So we're going to start out here. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the inner hand, the one closest to your body, and you're going to bring it up and you're going to let it ascend up towards your chest or maybe towards your throat. And then you're going to let it move away from your body and start to descend. And as it does, the one at the bottom, the left hand, is starting to move up. So you're kind of creating this little flow or this circle. So it's like a little exchange. Turn to the side. And then you can bring your breath in to kind of travel along with it. So as your right hand descends to the bottom this time, we're going to pause here. So left hand is up and right hand is down. Wait till everybody gets there. And now you're going to link your breath with it. So you're going to imagine as you inhale, you're inhaling and that breath is rising with your right hand as it comes up towards your chest or your throat. And then exhaling. Just let that breath come in and out through your nose. You can let your fingers and your hands relax a little bit and see if your elbows and your arms can just do the moving. And if your hands and your breath don't link up, that's fine. You're just starting out. When we come to the practice, you might find that after a few repetitions, things sort of find this little rhythm. And just letting the fingers and palms relax, letting your elbows kind of do the movement. As the hand comes up to the top, it cycles out and away from your body, and the bottom hand starts to move up. All right, that one's pretty easy. So we're going to give that a little bit of a break, shake it out. And then we're going to come back to standing. Take a little drink of water if you've got one. And we're going to move on to the second move. Don't worry, we're coming back to that one. You're going to have lots of chance to practice it. So for the second move, you're going to step your feet a little bit wider. So we want to go maybe a bit wider than the width of your hips or your pelvis. And then we're going to start with our hands down. And you're going to let your hands come together in front of you, and you're going to make a fist and bring the backs of your fists together. As you raise up, you're going to bend over towards one side. So it doesn't matter which knee bends, but you're going to bend one knee and you'll shift your weight to that side. And then the same side, your arm is going to turn. So your elbow is facing down, your palm is facing up, and you're going to extend, straighten the elbow, and then bring it back in. Let the back of your fists meet again and come back to center. And then we're going to move to the other side. So bend the other knee. Extend that arm. Come back in. And you can lower down. Okay, so let's bring the backs of the hands together. Start to bend one knee. Begin to link your breath. Bring the backs of the fists together, back to center. And let's go to the other side. You can look in that direction, elbow towards the ground, extending that elbow nice and straight, and then coming back. And let that go. And again, backs of the hands together, bend that knee, looking down that arm as it straightens. Let's go one more time on each side. And I'll be doing this along with you in the practice. So if you lose your place, you can just pause, find a starting point, reset, and start again. Okay, so those were our two moves. So now what we're going to do is we're going to bring those together in a practice. So let's just find some place to stand, give everything a little bit of a shake out. And this is where over a few repetitions, you might notice your breath and your body kind of start to find that rhythm that suits you. So don't worry about going the same speed as you see me go. You're going to do what feels right for you in your practice. Okay, so we're just going to start out. We're going to close our eyes for a moment. Just standing. And let the crown of your head feel as if it's growing gently towards the ceiling. Just allow yourself to feel the space underneath your toes. Press them into the floor and let them fall. Notice the space under the balls of your feet. Feel the outer edge of your feet against the floor, all the way back towards your heels. Notice the weight in your heels. All right, you can open your eyes. So now that we've felt all of that real estate on the floor, we're going to bring our hands together. I want you to let your palms place against each other, and we're going to rub them just a little bit to create some heat. So Qi Gong is all about moving those paths of energy through the lines of our body, letting our breath and our body just kind of fluidly move in the ways that feel natural. So we're creating a little bit of that energy intensity right now with this heat. Now we're going to take this and we're going to put it over our eyes. So you're going to take those warm palms and just let them rest over your eyes, over your eye sockets, your eyebrows. Take a deep breath in and let it go. Good. Take your hands down, and now we're going to find a little bit of cupping. So this might seem a little bit odd, but you're going to make a cup with your right hand. And you're going to start at your shoulder, on your left shoulder, and you're going to tap cup 9 times down towards your wrist. And then you're going to turn your arm over and do the same. And then we'll switch the other arm. So outside of the arm, cup the left hand. 9 places, turn your arm over, and again, 9 times. Let's go back to the first side one more time. Waking up that blood flow. Waking up all that sensation through our arms. Maybe even getting a little bit of lymphatic fluid moving a bit. All right. Now you're going to bend over. You're going to reach down to the backs of your legs, and you're going to draw your hands all the way up the backs of your legs and tap the back of your pelvis. And you're going to do it 2 more times. So we're just waking up that channel from the feet all the way up the legs into the lower part of our spine. All right, now everything's ready to go. Let's start out with our practice. We're going to start with our first move. So you're bringing those feet comfortably underneath you, not too wide, not too close. Really take a moment to just kind of breathe in and out through your nose. Feel the weight of your feet on the ground, all those little pieces that we checked out before. Bring your right hand and place it in front of your lower abdomen, maybe in front of your navel or a little bit lower. Your left hand is going to stack behind it. Make sure they have space to move. Bend your knees slightly. Imagine the crown of your head has a tiny little gold filament that's just gently holding you against the ceiling. We're going to get ready. As you inhale, the inner hand raises up. And as you exhale, it cycles out and down. Let your fingers relax. Let the tension in your hands go. You can bring a tiny little smile to the corners of your mouth. It's one of those practices that might make you feel good. Make you feel a little energy boost or a feeling of relaxation to start your day. So as the inner hand moves up with the inhale, you can imagine there's almost this column of air, column of free kind of flowing space, moving vertically up your body. Your hands are just showing you that pathway. might notice as you continue on that your hands can go a little bit higher. Or maybe your breath has become a little bit less effort. Maybe you're finding a sense of ease. Let your shoulders relax. We're going to go just a few more. When your right hand comes to the bottom the next time, you can let it settle there. Let it just be the end point, and then your left hand will follow down behind it. You can imagine that column is still there, that nice free space from your pelvis all the way up towards your throat. Let your hands relax, straighten your knees. You can give your feet a little shake out, and we're going to move on to that second move. All right. So you're going to take your feet a little bit wider. We're going to start slowly with this one. And again, you're going to find the pace that works for you. So taking your hands towards the bottom, let's begin to bring them in towards each other, making a fist. Backs of the hands come together and you start to raise up with those forearms level. Bending one knee, shifting your weight towards that side. Looking down that hand, extend your elbow, palms facing up, keeping that fist, and then return. And then as you inhale, bending the other knee, starting to look in the other direction, extending that arm, and bringing it back. Let your arms come down, and again, we'll start that cycle. So making your fists. You can start to bend to that side. You can start to find the linking of these moves. Again, going nice and slow, just finding every little bit of that motion, deliberate, moving with your breath. Come back to center, let your hands relax. From here, you can just start to move through your own rhythm. If you get a little bit lost, that's okay, just stop. Reset at the beginning. Watch me on the screen to remind yourself if needed. And just pick up where you left off. Maybe notice if you're clenching your wrists really tightly. If so, bring that little smile to the corners of your mouth and see if you can let your wrists, let your fists unclench just a little. Notice if you feel rushed. If you feel like you're racing through the moves, invite yourself to slow down. It might even take your breath along with you. We're going to go just a few more. So if you really feel like you're just hitting your groove now, you're just finding that rhythm, you still have 4 or 5 more to go. Maybe even for your last 2 or 3, see if you can take that knee bend a little bit deeper, still feeling nice and stable and smooth. And we have 1 more left to go. A big smile into the corners of your mouth. Give yourself a little cheer for starting with the Qi Gong practice this morning. Bring your arms down, step your feet in, give them a little break, let them walk around, take a step or 2, wiggle your toes. And then we're going to come back to a little bit wide leg. So I'm separating my feet about that width of my pelvis, a little bit wider than that. And again, we're going to bend and reach down as far as we can to the backs of our legs and follow all the way up that back line, and then tap, reach down and follow all the way up and tap, reach down and follow all the way up and tap, really waking up that whole kidney meridian. And then you're going to turn your hands around and you're going to find the space just above your pelvis into your low back, and you're going to use your hands to give yourself a little nice rubbing massage there. It's all snowy out there today, so aside from giving us a nice chance to kind of calm down and move fluidly, we're really giving that kidney energy a boost. So we're definitely not getting it from all of that outside cold snow. All right, you're gonna bring your hands back together. One last little stoking of those palms to heat them up. And then bring your hands to your eyes, take a nice deep breath in and out through your nose. And we're all finished with your Qi Gong class for this morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Thank you, Anna. That was a great way